Hi, I am Silvio and this is part 7 of my 2025 Christmas Village full tutorial series. At this point I urgently need to decide what color to use to paint the elevated railroad, the elevated support for the railroad tracks. I will prime them, and don't worry, I always have enough primer to prime everything during the regular season, so no problem about that. But whatever color I will choose, I will surely not have enough to paint all that amount of 3D printed pieces. It is already huge, the amount, more than 8 kilograms of PLA plus already used. And so I will try to do some different mix of colors, different mix of acrylic colors in order to identify the correct aspect I want to give to the structure, that it is a metallic structure, not a wooden structure, metallic structure. So some kind of steel, some kind of iron, some kind of painted iron or painted steel. Right now I don't know, I will do some test. Then when I will have identified the right mix or the single color, because it is even possible that I will go with a single color, I will need to order much more of it. Right now I have simply a small amount of all the colors, because this wasn't planned during the off season, so I couldn't stockpile any more colors. So I will start by that. Then it is time to finish building 01, the master building, with a new technique and a new material you have never seen me using before. And I hope I will not do a mess, but I will try to show you this new technique and these new materials. In fact, there are two new materials, but I will have to couple them together in order to get the final result. Then some other maybe building shown in a preview, and then right now I'm starting to think about adding some more layout in the back, in the front, in order to climb little by little towards the back of the layout, but it is still confused right now. I will have all the next week, all the following days. This is the week I already started, so the next days will be important to decide that. Obviously I will add some more pieces on the railroad support, whatever I will have 3D printed for when I will shoot the final video of this part 7, because this is only the intro and I don't film the intro before going online, but I film the intro naturally just after having uploaded the previous part. Then I will go with that during the week. And what else, guys? I don't know, maybe more surprises, but I think it will be enough for part 7. Let's go to work. So guys, as I've told you during the intro, it is understandable that I cannot use the supports for the railroad tracks as it is. I need to paint it, to prime it, and then to paint it. Maybe you are wondering, why haven't you used a filament similar to metal? There are many on the market, and so you would have avoided to have to do some painting. Correct? But white, black and gray PLA or PLA Plus are standard PLA filaments, and the price is relatively low. I use a brand that is around 12 USD or 12 euros per kilogram. Sorry, but the filament is sold by kilograms and not by ounces or any other weight unit. Plus, there isn't on the market the perfect 3D printer, the perfect FDM filament 3D printer. So some residual of layers may be visible even using the perfect per se 3D printer. Buying some filament similar to some metal, it is not metal, it is always PLA, it is always plastic, but simulating metal would have cost around 20 to 25 USD or 20 to 25 euros per kilogram. So 12.90, almost the double to have a correct color, a correct type of filament, but with the risk, as you may see there, that some residual layer may be visible. So it has a cost to paint and to prime everything, yes, but it is lower, the price is lower than having to buy some specific colored filament, or some specific colored and effect filament. I have tons and tons of primer, so no problem to prime this. Why priming? Because it accommodates the acrylic paint effectively on the piece. Otherwise, the acrylic paint tends to be scratchable, very easily scratchable, and so tends to deteriorate the aspect of the painted pieces. Then it is time to paint, but with which color? I want this to be as metallic as possible, and it is always a question of how much it will cost at the end, painting such a giant structure, such a volume of PLA plastic to cover with primer and acrylic paint. On the market there is typically standard measure volume of acrylic paint. Yes, there are also other way of painting, more corrosive, more not healthy as spray, etc. But my intent is to use acrylics, non-dangerous, non-toxic, etc. So with acrylic colors, with acrylic paints. On the market, the leader for many years, especially for miniatures, has been Vallejo. It's a European Spanish company that is specialized in solder miniature, 1 to 32, so very tiny solders, and with this amount, and strangely the acrylic paints, the container of acrylic paints are measured are in ounces or milliliter or whatever you want, but strangely this one has double, so 18 milliliter or 0.6 ounces, okay? And with one single of these containers of this little bottle, you can paint almost an army due to the very tiny dimensions of those miniatures. A little more for RPG game, a little less for RPG games. Sorry, RPG games like D&D, etc., where the miniatures are a little larger, a little taller, maybe at the same level as Lemax figurines. But each of these bottles, and there are bottles containing a product for airbrush or for brush or simple brushing, those one are for simple brushing, are around 3 to 3.5 euros or 3 to 3.5 USD per bottle. Per bottle. I don't think this bottle will have enough inside to paint half of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 curves and internal and external supports. Not half for 3 euros. Even thinning the color. It is already very thinned because it is one of the most liquid acrylic paint I know. So already thinned, but having to spend just around the 7 USD or 7 euros to paint this little tool here, this little piece. And just remember that for one simple ring I need 20 of those curves. I will spend tons and tons of money. But the result with this color are ideal. I will show you the result with 2 particular colors. Gunmetal, that is used to paint, as obviously it is the name, the weapons of the soldiers, and oily steel. You have seen me using oily steel on all the pipes from this season concerning the industrial / commercial section. Okay, and it is a fantastic product, this oily steel. Normally steel isn't shining, is simply pure steel metal, and I will come to that in just a bit. But they call it oily steel because it reflects a little the light, so it makes the steel a little more shiny without having to add some chromes or anything else. I want this to be as metallic as possible, as natural as possible, keeping in mind that it is set in a Victorian / early 19th century. So with no painting technology we have nowadays, with chrome, with brass, etc., applied on top of mix of painting. Okay, I'm talking about mix of painting or bath of solution that have a chrome sticked to the steel, etc. This is natural color. So I would spend a fortune to use those two little colors. But let me try and show you some examples of why I should use those little bottles here. Very expensive. So I will start with oily steel. Sorry, forgot to do one important thing. Always shake those bottles. Oily steel. Okay, and you are seeing that it is already really shining. Let me grab not too thin and not too big brush, and I will not prime anything, so pure like this, and I will start adding this oily steel here on this part here, on this section here. Okay, so it will take some little minutes. Maybe I will fast forward right now. Okay, stop here. With this amount here, I just painted this little section. Obviously, it is unthinkable to paint all the structure with brushes. I have some residual. Okay, with brushes. I will surely use my airbrush quicker to do it, otherwise it will take me ages. Okay, so let me clean the brush, and while it dry out oily steel, let me go with some gunmetal. Okay, and you will see that it is darker. Okay, maybe the same amount, yes, that it is darker. Let's have it painted, the other one, with some gunmetal, and you have seen how liquid it is, already done expressively to paint massively and to have the correct thinning mixture. Okay, let me do it like this. Let's fast forward once again. Okay guys, both those color, I think, so on the left it is oily steel, on the right it is gunmetal, both expressively done like this by Vallejo to add some shining to the metal, to the metallic parts, some shine. Okay, this is still too wet. They dry very quickly, but it is still too wet, and I will have to wait some more minutes in order to show you the real result. But maybe this is the idea, not too bright, not too dark, not too black, not too light metal, etc. Structure at the time were completely steel. Okay, it was the yes, iron on the beginning, iron, then immediately steel. So iron plus coal plus carbon. Okay, and other little components, but the majority is steel. For the steel is iron and coke, and not the drinking soda, but not even the drug, but just the carbon derived from vegetation. Okay, iron and carbon. The steel isn't shiny, guys. Okay, so at the time the factory producing steel were the most advanced ones, due to the fact that they had to produce all the rails for the railroads, and the world was in need of those metallurgical production. So metallurgy at the time was top-notch industry, top-notch technology, okay, for that time. And if you are wondering the real steel, how it was, maybe this is still needs to dry. Maybe I should show you the real steel. There aren't companies that make acrylic paint simulating pure steel. Okay, pure steel. No, you can't find them. because it is not used, but to have a good impression of what it is still, we have to mix 4 colors, 4 different colors. For the metallic part, we need to have some silver. On the market there is silver acrylic paint, silver acrylic paint, silver acrylic paints, etc. Each brand make its proper silver metallic, and you have seen me using these from Pebeo, another European company, but this one is not Spanish. This one it is Spanish. I said to you that it is yes, Spanish, Valeo, I remember correctly. Pebeo is a French company, not very. And by the way, guys, this is absolutely not sponsored, okay? But it is, as I always do, I wanted to be as truthful as possible. This is the top-notch iridescent metallic silver I can find. Not too diluted, not too thinned, perfect result, perfect silver when applied on something excellent, top-notch. There is no one. It is a little dense, but the result is fantastic. So this will simulate the metallic part of the steel. Then we need to mix also some white, a little amount of white, just a tiny bit of black, and believe it or not, some blue. Okay, so let me start by adding the silver. Okay, and as you can see, maybe I will not use, yes, let me go with pure silver on this. I will demonstrate you why I will not use pure steel, pure silver, simply because it's not good. It's not good. It really simulates silver. So let me fast forward this a little. Okay guys, so pure silver, and you can see how silver this is iridescent, is shiny as silver, very quickly painted, I know, but it is like that. Let's get back to my steel. Let's add a little of white, like that. Let's start mixing. So right now it is a white metallic, okay? Let's add a bloop, a drop, let's try not to exaggerate, of black. Let's mix this. Okay, not the perfect color, I miss some spoon, sorry guys. And let me add, this is a little too dry out, but because I don't use this very much, this color, but it will do anyway. Let me starting to add. I know it seems crazy to have to use some blue, but believe me, it will change the aspect using some blue like that. Let me mix this. Maybe it's not enough. No, it is enough. And if you take a look to steel, natural steel, not painted steel colors, you will see that it's not a uniform color. It is some gray, some blue, etc. Like that. Let me clean the spatula there. Like this. Voila. And let me use the steel in here. Okay guys, so this needs to dry out. This is very similar to to steel. Okay, this has dried out because I can't paint with silver, guys. No, it is not realistic. Yes, visually beautiful to see during Christmas time, Christmas holidays, silver bells, etc. This is real steel, not too shiny, and we still need to wait for it to dry. So in the meantime, those colors here have dried out. Okay, yes, already dried out. Shiny, shiny, too shiny, no shiny, or just a little shiny due to the fact that silver, it is iridescent. Okay, this one mixed with white, black and blue that are no reflective, no shine, no metallic, produce the bluish color of the steel. Maybe I can show you some picture of steel right now. Okay guys, the problem, the steel good, I like it. This to clear, this also I like it. Problem, priceless. This, no, it's not suited for me. It's not a personal feeling there, it is common sense. I cannot have a structure painted like this. This maybe it is too clear, so eliminate this 1, 2 and 3. Yes, this one is the original I should use, but I wanted also a little of shininess, and the steel is not shine. The stainless steel you see on the market, such as spoons, etc., it is treated on the surface. It is stainless steel, but with some other addition like a chrome, etc. Okay, so, and it is polished. But at the time, railroad structure were absolutely not polished. So steel, I could paint steel with some shiny on the top. Other problem, not the pro, not to the cost is not too elevated. The real problem is to generate always the same batch of colors. Impossible or very, 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 very hard to do when you have to mix 4 different shades, 4 different colors together, unless you produce just one amount, just one batch, having a giant bucket, fill it with all the colors together. But I will waste a ton of money, because when mixing, if those two ones, the amount I used was perfect to cover what I needed, this to cover this, I had to waste more than 3/4 of what I mixed. So I will waste a ton of colors during this. But this is the proper look it should have. Steel, not a stainless, maybe yes or so, but pure steel color. Okay, guys? Okay, let me take out those spoons here. By the way, I'm not throwing on the floor. I have a basket there where I throw everything. So in my search for not to spend a little too much on what I want as a color, I find and I will experiment with you right now, a German company that it is called LM Creative with a K, okay? This is acrylic paint, effect Farbe is color, silver is silver, metallic, okay? Even if it's not even correct in German. Made in Germany. And this is a bottle of 500 milliliters, okay? 500 milliliters, if this is 18 millimeters, 18 milliliters, this is 500. So 100 times, it is 100, 10 times it is 180, 20 times it is 360, let's say 25 to 30 times. So 3 euros per 30, 35, let's say between 90 and 95, under 100 euros to get this amount from this company here. But this is only 16 euros for this bottle, against 100, around 100 euros, so 100 USD to get the same amount with those bottles here. And I wanted to test it silver and anthracite, always LM Creative, etc., 500 milliliters. That anthracite is maybe gunmetal like this one, so it is an iridescent metallic blackish color. Okay, let's compare. Let's always have the same piece there, and let's have here some of these silver, and here some of the, and the other side some of the anthracite that is black metallic. I noticed that the two top here are not the same, but I don't care. Let's have it a little mixed quickly. Let's have a little amount there, So different consistency. This is more liquid than the Pebeo silver. It is metallic, you can see already that it is shining, but judging from the appearance, I think it is not that opaque, not too much opaque. It is a little too much transparent because I see too much liquid surface on top of it. Let's clean a little more the brush to not contaminate anything from one to the other. And let's have this silver here. Oops, so not with the water, like that. So yes, as I supposed. So maybe you are seeing that this is not silver, guys, even if they say it on the bottle and it is. I can understand the price, guys. I can understand the price. Okay, it is not even silver, guys. Maybe I have to use two layers of this painting, but for me this is more pearl, mother pearl. Okay, almost white. I don't know. You can see the difference, but I cannot judge. No, guys. Before having the final judgment, let me finish this, and maybe it will require 2 layers, and let me finish this. Okay, guys, it doesn't seem so, but it is completely covered. It even don't stick like the other painting to the piece. I will surely need to do a second layer before judging it, but if I am obliged, if it will be mandatory to use 2 layers, I will already say no, because I will lose a lot of time. While the first layer dry out, let me test if it is the same thing with this. Oops. Similar to the other one. Oops, too much. Like that. And let me go with this one. Strange mix, a very strange mix. Very strange mix. Let me start here. Wow. Same problem, guys. It is transparent. You have seen that those ones are absolutely not transparent, pure opaque. This one, even if it is black, and black is the most opaque color, so anthracite or anthracite, call it whatever you want, or however it is called in English, it should be black as coal, as coke, once again, because anthracite is derivation of carbon, so it should be as black as possible, guys. Let me finish this, the first layer of this. Wow, guys, you can see how uneven is the painting, I'm absolutely using the same technique, but you have seen that with the Vallejo colors, the Vallejo paints, acrylics, it is always perfectly even to paint. No difference from here a little lighter than a darker. Wow. I understand the price of those bottles right now, but let me do as I suspect. Let me do 2 layers. This is already dried. No, absolutely not. And it's not drying out as quickly as the other. It is not drying out as quickly as the other. Okay, like this. By the way, the steel has dried out, and you can see now the effect, the real effect, not wet as it was before. This is a steel, guys. Some shine from here to there. You have seen the picture if I worked correctly some minutes ago. So for now, guys, no, maybe, yes, yes. Okay, maybe because it is too clear. No, silver. Maybe, yes, yes. Those two for me are yes and yes. Yes and yes. Okay, both yes. Those two, I don't know right now, but let me wait some minutes and have a second layer, guys. So guys, it was how I suspected. With the second layer, the aspect changed to become more realistic, okay, more understandable. Those colors more understandable, okay. And yes, I can recognize the color. This is always not silver, absolutely not silver, guys. This is silver, guys. This one is silver. This one is too white to be silver. And this one, I still needed to wait for this to dry out. But with the second layer, it is better. They are both better. Maybe this one I can use for some other effects. I will test. So right now you have seen those colors here. This maybe it is too shiny. Let's wait it for dry. A little in between this one and this one as a brightness, not this, maybe in the middle, but maybe too shiny to be considered metal. Those ones are top, guys. Okay, for covering for time, but very, 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 very pricey. Okay, let's have these dried, and for the effect I will try something. Last for now, but I will need to decide in the next minutes because I have to order some more. I found this, and this just came yesterday. It has just been delivered yesterday. Guys, absolutely impossible to find this brand. It is a US brand made in USA, Kentucky. 49 Cotton Avenue, Stanford, Kentucky. Okay, so it is an American brand, a US brand, Deco Art Americana multi-surface metallic, and it is gunmetal. It is written gris metal, gris acier, so it is supposed to be as this one. By the way, I just found that 2 online sellers in all Europe, one in Spain and one in the Netherlands. Yes, maybe in some physical store I can, but I can't get around Europe to find this brand. I came to know this brand from a discussion I had with an old friend who is involved into war miniatures, and he told me that it is a good replacement for those Valeo here. Okay, so this is between 3 and 350, depends on the sellers. 3 US and 50 cents per bottle, and it is 0.6 Oz, okay, or 18 milliliter. This is 5 between 5 and 550 euros, so USD, but it is 2 ounces. It is 59 milliliters, so 18, 36, 54, 3 times these, so 9, 3 times these, so 18, 36, 46, 54 milliliters. It would mean between 9 and 10 euros, but these 6, not more than 6, even under 6 USD, 6 euros for having more than 3 times this. So okay, you understand why this is better for me. If it works, it is still it still need to be open. It is as I received it. I ordered 2 bottles of this, but I will not be. And my friend told me, look, it is 3 or 4, maybe 5 times more dense than the Valeo. This cannot be, Valeo cannot be thinned, cannot be dealt with some thinner, okay? Because it is supposed to work like this. This can be thinned. If it works, it will be a great gain because I will not spend that much, and it is much more affordable, much more affordable than Valeo. The results they told me it is similar. This is DA 570, okay. It is a brand I personally didn't use before. I never used this brand. It is a premiere for me. Open. Come on. Like that. Okay. Oh, it's not closed. I need to shake it because I haven't shaken it. Let me observe it right now. Yes, very dense, guys. Much more dense than these. Those one were very liquid. You have seen the Vallejo are very liquid. Those mix here, this mix here can be thinned. Obviously, I will need to thin it because otherwise it will completely engulf the airbrush. Those two ones may be thinned, yes, but they are already too much transparent to be thinned out, but they are not suited for the airbrush like this because they are too dense. But if I thin that one, I risk to have to add not 2 layers but between 4 and 5 layers. Let's take a look to this one. Oh yes, dense. Guys, you can see that it is very dense. Yes, it is dense. It has a very similar color to this one. Let me, to the gunmetal, not the oily steel, but the gunmetal. Let me have them together, one beside the other. Interesting, very interesting. Yes, similar, maybe little more bluish, little more blue to the mix for this brand here, for the Deco Art, for the Americana. But let me experiment once again here. It is interesting, guys. Getting in touch with friends from the past. And by the way, guys, when I was 14, 15, before getting everything on Christmas villages, I also painted the 3.2 centimeters solders, US, European, etc. But my eyes were still there. I started to lose. Okay, guys. Okay. Yes, it is very dense. It is less performing than Vallejo, a little less, but it is even, okay. It is opaque. Interesting, guys, very interesting. Let me go ahead with this one. Okay, guys. Yes, one layer will be enough. I will need to wait for this. I haven't painted everything evenly. Just remember that with the airbrush tends to even everything. Here with the brush, a stroke is not the same as the second one. The third one is not the same. You can't always apply the same force, the same movement, the same direction. With the airbrush, it tends to even everything, okay? That's why I will use an airbrush for rapidity, yes, but also for even. Those ones, don't let me repeat too much, top notch. Vallejo, there is nothing like Vallejo for this kind of job. That's why it is so pricey, Vallejo. And guys, they only produce tiny bottles. The only bottles, the big bottles of 250 milliliters are for the primers, etc. But they only use those tiny bottles generally. Very difficult to find other format. But let's get to this once again. But let me wait for it. But very similar. The price is very interesting. While that dry out and before getting the final judgment, let me do a little experiment with the two German colors. No, I will. Yeah, no, I will use this one. Anyway, don't worry, they are not wasted because they are not yet primed. So the prime is very thick and it will cover everything. Let me do a black, that there is nothing like a black for covering, etc. So guys, quickly painted and limitless, not very dry, but I wanted to make some experiment with these two German colors before the batch I have there will be unusable because it will dry out. Let me, it is already drying, but let me use these to get a more metallic aspect on some non-metallic, to some non-metallic acrylic paints. I just wanted to experiment with those two ones. Let wait for everything to dry out, then I will make the final judgment. Okay, never forget a brush into the water. Like this. Final judgment, guys. Let me have all of them there. If I can go, no, this is like this. Those two are the German ones. Okay. This is the second batch I used, and those ones are the original ones, guys. So let me do like this. Okay, so original from Vallejo, so this is oily steel. Gunmetal from Vallejo, this is only the silver, the pure silver from PBO I used in the mix of the steel of silver, white, black and a little of blue. This is the silver from the German company, but 2 layers. Everything else is just 1 layer, guys. Those two are 2 layers. So silver and anthracite, it is, let's say, gunmetal, even gunmetal for the German company, for the LM company there, those 2 bottles here. Then this is the deco art. From, I hope you are seeing, even if I was there, yes. Let me go a little more there. So Vallejo, PBO, my mix, silver German, anthracite German. Then this is the American deco art. First time for me using it. I'm surprised. I'm positively surprised by the result. Then this is simply a black I wanted to test with, on the left side, this silver, and on the left side I used that one, but just 1 layer. Maybe they are usable for some I will use them in the future for some effects, but it is the first and last time I will buy from that company. They are too transparent, not usable if not in multiple layers. I want something, and you guys want something that needs to be useful from 1 second ahead, so immediately effective out of the bottle. I'm tempted right now, guys, between 1, 2, 3 and 4. Why the other no? These no, silver is no good. Those two no, 2 maybe 3 layers, and it is too dense to use with the airbrush, and thinning it will mean having to add 5 to 6 layers of painting, so 6 time more time to finish the job, and I think it will clog my airbrush continuously. 1 and 2, perfect. This one is top notch, but very, very expensive. This one a little step under. This also is good for me if I want to use some brute, some raw steel. But come on, I also want a little shiny, and this is minimum shiny because there is the silver, the iridescent silver. So let's eliminate what I will not use. This one no, those two ones no. I remain with those choice here. This one not. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Keep in mind that with the airbrush you don't have the exact same shininess, because here you push onto the surface when applying with the brush, so it is thicker. It is thicker with the brush. With the airbrush it tends to be less shiny. So those two ones with the airbrush will tend to lose a minimum of shininess, and they are already not very, very shiny, but perfect like that. Guys, I think I will go for price, for result with this one. Right now we have just 2 bottles. I will see what I can achieve painting with just 2 bottles of 59 milliliters or 2 ounces. But before starting, no, right now I will not start. It is very late. It is 2 a.m. guys. I will order more bottles. I don't know if from the Spain, this one particularly, those two bottles came from Spain, but maybe because it was summertime, it took 10 days to receive them. 2 bottles. Maybe I will do a test ordering some more bottles from the Dutch seller, online seller. There is just a 50 euro cents of difference between 15 euro cents of difference between the two seller, less expensive from the Netherlands, but a little more expensive for shipment. But if I order more than 2 bottles, maybe I can subdivide the expense. So This one for me is the choice, guys. Too pricey, value good. I have still 5 more bottles of each, but I will use them for the pipes of my buildings and other little part that the pipes are not too extensive. I will go with this one. So less than 6 euros or 6 USD for 2 ounces or 59 milliliters, and I can tin it 3 times, 4 times, between 3 and 4 times, and it will still be effective. It is very, very dense, guys. I love when colors are those dense. I can manage to get much more results. Even this one is dense, not as dense as this one, but good, guys. So the choice has been made, the judgment has been delivered. I will go with the Quart Americana metallic gunmetal gris gris metal. Okay, this one. Let's clean it and let's do something more. No, 2 a.m. Yes, maybe another hour. Let's go for another hour. Now, guys, it's finally time for the new technique and a couple of new materials. In reality, those two materials need to be joined together, to be coupled together, otherwise the new technique will not work. I started with some colored transparent PVC for the windows this season, just starting from part 1. But now, new technique and new materials. First, new material. Ta-da! A black box. Okay, that's all, guys. Bye. See you for part 8. No, guys. In reality, this is not simply a black box. It is an inverter. I've already used some inverter in very dangerous inverter at that time that transformed low voltage current in very, very high voltage current, and I use it for the entry of my 3-ring circus with the electrical arc. Okay, good memoirs of 2022. This is an inverter. It accepts 12 volts in input and transform it in high voltage and output somehow some very high up voltage. Not that dangerous as the ones I used for in 2022, but it's not suited for youngster. Okay, you need to use it carefully. You don't risk anything. It has a strange connector. Maybe I can show you the connector, the tip of connector, strangely, and the input, it is simply a standard round plug in. This, let me get it connected in some way to some AC adapter down there. This need to be coupled, to be joined with this strange thing here that has a female connector that goes straight with this one, like this, guys. Okay, click. What is this? And by the way, this is a meter, flexible red wire, etc. These guys, new technique, 2 new materials, is called neon wire or electroluminescent wire. light emitting wire. So it is a wire that emits some light. Ta-da! I'm crazy, I know. It's not made with some LED inside, with some tiny LED. It has some powder inside, some phosphorescent powder, that when a high voltage current goes through the wire, it gets luminescent, it gets lighted on. Okay, guys, new material. Let me switch this on, and you can't see anything because, like the word said, electroluminescent wire, neon wire, light emitting wire, it is supposed to be used in plain dark. Let me go in plain dark. Let me switch this off. Let me go in plain dark. Okay, guys, I'm not in complete dark, because otherwise I couldn't get in action, and I will be completely blind. But let me redo the switch on, guys. Hope you are seeing it. Okay, hope you are seeing it. Maybe not at this ISO, maybe let's go, let's say 1000, like this, okay, for the purpose there. Okay, let me go towards the other switching, like this, guys, and I can get it around my end too. Okay, and it is a neon light, a neon, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Always switch on and blinking like that, guys. Okay, I hope the camera will show you the correct effect right now. This, when I saw this, okay, you have already seen something like that in the movie saga of Fast and Furious, guys. Under the cars, the blue light and the green lights, the red lights, the cars had, and behind them, under the car, between the car and the ground. It is the same technique. It is a powder inside, so it is flexible. This is flexible. And guys, let me try to work in the darkness here. Maybe not. Let me just pause a little moment. Good, guys, sorry. Let me go this way, guys. Okay, guys, hope you are seeing everything. They come in different colors. So purple here, red here, yellow, light blue, darker blue. This is orange, this is lime or green. Come on, it is plenty of possibilities you have here. Okay, if you don't manage to get a modification on the inverter, they can only blink at the space here. I will need to experiment with them during the season to see if I can manage something to get them blinking in different with different speed. Okay, guys, so this is for the dark, this is for the night, this is for when I will film my finished Christmas village in plain night. But not, but already during, if I do not film in plain night, I can achieve some interesting effect with all these colors, guys. Okay, let me make once again more light. Okay, guys, so you have understand that I will use them, and you can see that even if this is blue, because when switched on this is blue, it is white when not switched on. The others can go red when not switched on, a little transparent red, but normally it is like that, blue, lime or green, etc. And right now I connected them to some splitters, because you know I love splitters, and it is like that. Okay, guys, so right now maybe I will want to use this one here, this blue here, for starting the season, guys. Okay, let me disconnect the other ones. For the moment I will not use them. Okay, but how will I use it right now? Good question, guys. Let me bring to the scene the first level of building number 1, that I haven't closed it yet, but I have advanced. I have some scenes inside, a reception, a lavatory, and a room from Victorian era, a factory, then glasses on all the windows, then the 1, 2, 3 and 4 outside, the wall mounted street lamps. Okay, all working, all tested, invisible, the wires will be hidden behind everything, still need to connect the ceiling. But here, on top of the, over the top of the window, the door, the entry door, I have still another hole. For what, you are saying? For something strange, for something crazy like I am. I will place this little thing here, there. Don't worry about the strange name, Airborne. I've used the same name used by paratroopers during the World War II. Okay, Airborne. It was the troopers with parachutes, that, as they are called, the paratroopers, were an effective way of doing war. But let's forget airborne. But no, this building will not be related to any military thing or paratroopers. But I like the name Airborne with an E at the end, but it is something like born in the air, or born to be in the air, or born to fly. But I liked the name. I placed it like that on some black 3D printed, this modeled 3D printed, and it was difficult to choose the right dimension for what I had in mind. I started with this one that it is yes, suited for there, but maybe a little too tiny to use, and you have already guessed this in junction with this. How? I will explain. So I started with this. Then I went a little bigger, always getting there, and it is suited there. Then I went a little more larger before getting to this final solution, and with here it is almost the same as the final one, but I realized this is still the same font, but this is all capital, this is not, this is a standard, this is enlarged, vertical enlarged. I wanted something watchable and seeable from the outside, and this will be placed like that. I don't care if I cover some pipes there, etc., but I still don't know if it works. I just 3D printed this one and painted one, and another one not yet painted, because I thought maybe I will do a mess with the first one, and it will be there. Very watchable, very seeable from the distance, but neon wire, signpost. Can I couple these to these in order to get a neon signpost, a neon signpost for that building, even in plain night, as it was Las Vegas in 1950, maybe too early, maybe Tesla and Edison weren't thinking about that in that early years of electricity. I will do an hard work. Right now I will use another one as help me for getting everything correctly at the right positioning. Those are 1 meter long light emitting wires or neon wires. Priceless, no, if you order them from AliExpress. 2 USD, 2 euros, no, 180, 1.8 USD or euros per piece. But for the effort, guys, it is worth it, okay? I will try to get the wire on top of the letter. It will be a very difficult, a very tedious, a very work to do. The wire needed to be glued at some points there, otherwise I will lose the geometry of everything. So I will also need some super glue, and I will need also some other things to help me. But guys, I risk to make a mess. But I will use this little tool. It is an hand drill. I will drill holes here and there. But first of all, let me remove the cap here. I have to protect the end of the wires. I will place it there. And before making giant error, because I cannot disassemble this, yes I can, but it will take me hours to reassemble this. Let me get the wire from the inside to the outside. In this way here, like that. And I hope 1 meter will be enough to complete what I have in mind. Okay? So let me take measure. I will start with the A, etc. Let me try to drill a hole as far as I can go with the A there, and I will start I'm through. Okay. Okay. And let me go as far as possible from the other side. Okay, I'm through. Let me clean it. It will be longer to achieve, guys, but I'm sorry. I will not fast forward it because it is too important. Okay, then I will go from the inside to the outside. Like this. Sorry, but I will need to work in particular conditions because it is like that. Then I will go from the outside once again towards the inside. Like this. Okay, then let me have, and it comes the difficulty. There, and one here at the bottom, then let me do that and that. Then I will stop here because I need to find a better solution, because I cannot work in this condition here. I just wanted to test if this works. Okay, then okay, before getting ahead, let me test this. Let me test this, and let me go in the darkness. Is this readable as an A? And let me go steady. I think so, guys. This is an A. Okay, the other wire is confusing, but even blinking, it is an A, guys. And you can see, even if it is, maybe I should approach the camera as I can, but the A there, it's always difficult for this camera to get in plane. Okay, maybe like this, having, and the A there. Is visible. Okay, guys, it will be an L. Sorry, guys, I forgot the mic. It will be an L to work like that. Okay, let me switch on the light once again. Okay, so guys, it works. Obviously, I cannot not work like this because it is impossible to work like this. I need to fix a little DA, some points. I need to fix the wires, etc. This is not the correct position to work. Okay, so okay, like this. This is easable, repairable once completed. Let me check if I haven't damaged anything. No, it works. So it is better if I work this way, okay? And from time to time I will need to fix some of the components there. And I will do it right now. I will do it right now. Some gel super glue. Some accelerant. Like that. Here too. Okay, always check if the chemical product there haven't damaged anything. No. Blink, it blinks. Okay, good. And I will proceed this way to get everything. So inside, outside, inside, outside, in order to have everything marked correctly. Okay, I don't think here I will need to glue anything more than this. And having blue with blue from the distance, guys, it is readable even with the light switched off that it is airborne once completed. So let me do once again the eye, then I will get you update once I get advanced instead of filming everything. So I was up there and now I will work more effectively like this. Let me do the eye. it is very easy to do the eye. Okay, the eye is done. Okay, and so on. You have understood the technique I will use. If I don't use this technique of going inside outside, I will have a mess of wires. This is the only technique it is suitable in order to get this done correctly and visible from the outside, and even with the switched off the colors are similar from the distance, those two blues. So let's hope to get everything done correctly. Let me do some more letters. You have understood the technique there. I will do an update. Let me do 2 more letters. Okay, let me do 2 more letters. Good guys, a little update after AIRB. Okay, and maybe approaching the camera. AIRB. Okay, sorry, maybe the camera is a little too dark, but I don't think so right now. I'm close. So AIRBORNE, and I have left this amount here. I hope to have enough to complete, and with the light on, and with the light on here, guys, it is visible even from the distance, etc. So no impeding for the neon wire to the signpost, and no impeding for from the signpost to the neon wire. Not bad result, I think. It is intended to have the B. Oof, I needed to switch this off. Whoa, I felt the current, the high voltage getting inside me because I was touching here, the end here. I felt the high voltage error from my part. So no impeding at all, and it is intended to not be that precise, etc. Because this is early 19th century. Okay guys, so let me finish. So I have this to complete the O, R and E, and I'm halfway. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. If I have a 50 centimeters there, I think I could go without problems. Here I have 30, and here I have 60 centimeters, just 40 centimeters used for the half. I will have enough, and from the back here incomprehensible, but then I will be able to close it there. Everything, then place it. Let me go ahead and finish this, then I will have a final update. Maybe later tomorrow morning, or early tomorrow morning. I right now need absolutely some hours, some little hours of sleep, at least 3 hours of sleep. So it's very late. Okay, it's very late let me close the glue. Let me detach this. Let me switch everything off and I will continue before going to work tomorrow morning. Okay, bye. Okay guys, it is done. I know without it's early in the morning, there is already light outside, but I can't do anything about it. This is the final result. Okay, the most difficult part was the E, the final E, because the letters were so close, the curves were so close that I had to to pay a little more attention. I think the curves there are a little too too narrow. I risked to broke the neon wire multiple times for the E. Error from me, mistake from me not having thought about that and having maybe enlarged the width, only the width of the E at the final stage, 1 millimeter. It will haven't changed anything on the total width of the signpost. Okay, and I still have 12-15 centimeters of wire at my disposal, so 1 meter for 3, 6, 8 letters with all those curves here. I was tempted to buy only the 15 centimeters length, but no, it is good to have 1 meter. Next time I will need to use more narrow curves. Okay, everything else difference not that much. I wanted this to be, yes, functional, but also not perfect as today neon post, neon sign post, etc., because it is early 19th century. No modern technique of bending the neon tubes with heat, etc. So this is the result. I will switch on the light. Okay guys, just a little update. It is once again dark outside. It is assembled. Okay, still needed to do some touch of color here and there. And the airborne is there, guys. Let me switch it on. You aren't seeing anything correctly maybe, but the sign is also blinking. And now I will switch off the light, okay, so you can see it correctly. So guys, maybe it is a little too dark. Let me go not blinking, pure fix. Okay, it is a little too dark. You aren't seeing everything correctly, but yes, let me open a little more. It is a little better, not that much, but a little better. But you will see it in action once I will do the final recap. But guys, it is working and airborne is there. The camera is not suited for night shot right now, okay guys, but it is here and it works, guys. Okay, so let me switch once again everything on. Voila guys, so maybe I will paint a little more here the wire in pure black in order to avoid everything, but even switched off it is readable. Okay guys, it is absolutely readable. Then I also have 2 LED inside under the roof here for each side, and 4 external wall mounted street lamps there that will need a second connection. Here I managed this. I made the groove a little more deeper here in order to accommodate this wire here that needs 12 volts and the other one for the 3 volts there, and this one will be easily identified by the fact that it has a strange connector there, and I will know that it has 12 volt. Here I have some almost complete. I still need to have some signs here and there on the side here, maybe a clock here and there. It will be for next time. I wanted to finish this is too important building to complete in just 2 parts, and inside I have plenty of scene as I already shown you, and I also completed the walkway that will go, not painted obviously, the walkway that will go in front of this building. You will see this in action during the final recap. Final recap of part 7 of the 2025 season, and I'm starting with the pan view at 0.6 magnification of the actual layout and how it is looking right now. Then let me switch to 1 magnification like this, and I will go with the supports for the railroad, guys. 2 bottles of this DecoArt Americana multi-surface metallic, gunmetal, etc. Tinned 4.5 times, allow me to get all that you want, not all that you want, all that you are seeing painted with this color here. And if you hear there, I still have a quarter there, not of pure color but of mix, tinned mix, etc. Then I will use for next time because it is already tinned, etc. So 2 bottles and get me almost 35 to 40% of the supports done. So I will not spend that much to paint everything. And the effect, it is, yes, metallic with some white shades here and there, etc., but metallic. I still need to fix on the ground with the nails, as you already know, but it gets those, obviously that junction there needed to be painted, etc. And but I don't know, guys, but this for me is really metallic with shiny, not too shiny, etc. Here I have to fix that. It was a hell to paint. I was saying it was a hell to paint all assembled like this way, because it tended to get unstable. Awful. Here the surface is rough, so it will not slide anything. But if I paint, I detached half of the ring there to paint more easily than the second ring, then split it in 2 parts, also the straight line. Okay, so with these curves here I completed the ring. Then I will start to get towards the other side, but with the flex track. So I will need to wait until I get back from the other side back there. But the straight line, it is completed. So all this plus the white that I still need to paint, and that with the pieces I prepared this week, during the last week, allowed me to complete the 12 straight tracks upon there. Then I already started getting around, guys. There I started getting around here. Then I will have to think more carefully about what will happen there, guys. Okay, so the supports goes there. I made a wrong calculation and I still needed to replace correctly that support there. The distance between, let me take the distance between this point here and that point there is 24 centimeter. Even from this point here to that point there on the other side is 24. But the distance from this point here to that point there, it is 27.4 centimeters. Okay, guys? So I need to reshape those ones and enlarge them to connect each two section. Each two section I need a 27.4 centimeters connector. I had a moment of complete panic when I was trying. That's the reason why I went bending everything here and there, and it is still bended there. The connection is not perfectly aligned there, okay, but I will get to this by next week. I was panicking, come on, I made the wrong calculation. Yes, you made the wrong calculation because of the distances, okay? They are not perfectly symmetrical, and each now and then I get I get a problem of distance. It is not completely symmetrical, okay? But I can get it right. Okay, don't worry, it is a simple matter of calculating something more. So you have seen the straight line. I've already placed it on top the tracks to verify. The ring there is complete, also complete, and then I will start curving and going to the other side. But first I prefer getting from this side here before joining together. Then guys, I went all in with all the buildings I had right now. I just have 1, 2 and 3 of what I call magical buildings. This one I still need to clean the windows there, so that's the reason why it is like that, open. Right now maybe you have recognized that building. This one maybe it is still too difficult to recognize if I don't add something more that it is 3D printed. Here maybe yes, with the windows, once I added you will recognize them. Then I have some other spaces, and from this side I placed what I consider, and maybe I can get you a look from this point of view, guys, with the buildings getting here and there, imagining the camera sliding in the middle there, okay, in the middle, in plain middle, not with this camera because it is too wide, but imagining getting the camera and the effect it will have filming here in plain middle. This one, it is too large, I've already said it multiple times, and it is more than 12 centimeters wide. Okay, so I placed those buildings. Maybe I let you see more closely building 0, building 8 from this side. I made a concession. It is the only building I added some balcony there, but it is an inside balcony because outside balconies weren't used. Here too large at both windows there, etc. I consider buildings from this side as non-primary being looked at from this side, guys. All will have exclusively bricks there, simply because I will have a park something here in the middle. Then this is building 6. It isn't that bad as a building. This one, a commercial building, maybe something more, okay. This is pure Victorian. Here I made a mistake because I wanted to have canopies from each side, right, left and front. As you can see here I have the space for adding the canopies, but here getting the canopy there will not allow me to join the building correctly. And anyway, the lower windows will be condemned because I made this symmetrical, and I don't care. Maybe I will keep this canopy here on top here, maybe not, I still don't know right now, but I will surely get rid of those supports for the canopy there. Building number 6 has no problem, it is completely like that. Then this one still needed to be completed, some windows, it is missing some windows. It is the last one, I don't remember right now, and it has a problem when 3D printing, so maybe I will not use it, maybe yes, maybe I will redo the base there, I will reprint the base. Then this is building number 2, standard with no bowed window, simply an entry and two stories there. And this one, it is particular, guys, because it is building number 3, so it is this building here, guys, this building here, but tapered, so getting 45 angles from each side. If I place it right there, guys, you see that it is the same exact building. I simply went inside from both sides, allowing me to get this on a curved section, and I will place it opposite way from that building number 3, and here on somehow like that, like that and like that. Okay, it allows me to place on a curve something, and I will place it opposite, far away, I will change the colors, etc. That building there, it is the one that was here, guys, building number 4, that it was there. I completed with the painting. I still need to add some signs posts like that one. They are still 3D printed but not yet painted. And here the windows has some red glass. Obviously inside there are LEDs, one for this main bowed window and one on the top under the roof. I went with different colors, so whitish, ivory, darker than the other bricks. I used terracotta, then some green, etc. Simply the same style of building and painting. It was common during Victorian time. Building number 9, guys, it isn't that bad. It is not my favorite one from this section, but absolutely worth having it from that side. That it is the most important, as the main camera will pan here, guys, during the final video, so it will represent there. Maybe I will remove some other building, maybe I will remove that one, I don't know. I don't want to have all the magical buildings one beside the other, so I still need to print at least 2 more magical buildings. Yeah, only 3D modeled but not 3D printed, so I will decide. That one I had it correctly placed there. 2 corner buildings like the magical one and this one. Building number 1 from the right side, it is a huge building, guys. 2 doors there, 2 stories. It is one of those very large, very long buildings from before Victorian time, okay? Victorian time, with the base there that has a dimension, then enlarging at the first level, first story, then enlarging once again at the second story. It is ravaging this building, guys. My intention was to place it here as main building from this side, but the problem with this building, guys, is that I cannot place anything against it because of the different sizes of each story, each level, okay? It is historically correct one of the most historically correct, having almost the same design here as I used to have here on the side there. Those are typically Victorian, even some year before Victorian time. I will need to accommodate here the roof, but minor changes. This one will be there, but if I don't modify it somehow, I cannot place another building there. But anyhow, with this one there, I will not have space for another building. This is too narrow for another building. Here I have a space for another building. Maybe I can get building number 9 here, because it will fill building number 9 inside here, okay, getting something closer here, etc. Okay, but I like to have it there because it is good to have that design with the triangular roof there. It is a regular building. Even this one tended to have larger first floor, but I modeled it having the only this side towards me larger, not the sides. In this way I could manage to have other buildings. This one obviously is the first one I modeled for this section here, and it is a complete mistake. Then I modeled the building number 8, another mistake. The rest I tried to go with little mistakes as possible, or no mistakes as possible, keeping in mind that I wanted to join every building once against the other. Maybe also this one I can place it there along that as finishing this section with the road continuing there, but not with those cobblestone I used 3D printed with my standard paper cobblestones. Okay guys, it is taking some look, and also from an 8 guys. Let me pan, maybe I will go larger and you will get a better view panning this from a certain 8. Okay, I will pan it like this. Right now they aren't painted, but they can have a good effect. I can also pan them like that, etc. Okay, let me go to standard magnification. Bonsoir Madame Geneviève, comment allez-vous? Please don't shout in my ears this evening. It is very late. It is 3 a.m. already. Okay guys, so I went almost all in here. I still need 4 more buildings, I think. Then obviously other buildings that will go and continue here from this side here, another corner building here, but the main street is there guys, at ground level. Now guys, I know you have already took a little look at it guys. This is the airborne building. Maybe I will fix the camera guys on top of here. Like this guys, okay? And this is building number 1, chief building with the airborne. I don't think the effect it is too bad guys. Let me switch off all the lights. Okay guys, so this camera here is better suited for night shooting, so that's why it is better viewable like this one. And I can even switch to the blinking and it will be visible like this one. Okay guys, up to you to judge, guys. It is a new technique, it is some new materials, you haven't never seen me using them. The result, it took me, guys, 6 hours to complete this, with all the going inside, outside. It was like when I was a little and my mother, as I always told you, that my parents always wanted me to know at least something about everything. And so my mother also taught me how to sew, okay? And so it is the same technique, going inside, outside, inside, outside. And okay, guys, I'm lucky. I know some plumbing, I know some electricity, I know physics, I know chemistry, I know a little of everything, and I will never stop thanking my parents for that. It was mandatory for them that I learned everything would or could be useful during all my life, and that's why I will never stop loving them. Sorry, guys. And I also kept this one switched on with arcade and there, but maybe let me show you the inside of the building in plain night. Maybe I'll switch to the pure standard. Inside you have some Victorian factory scenes. Each one, this one is a scene, this other one, it is another scene. Maybe it is not entirely watchable, but you have so one scene for the first level, one scene inside the second level for each side. Here inside I don't think it is very well seeable, but I have a lavatory. Then here I have a reception inside, but it is in plain dark and not that much visible, but you have it inside. But it isn't important because the windows here are very small. It was urgent for me to get a scene inside where I have larger windows. Then the last windows there in the corner, it is condemned with a curtain, because for me it was a very narrow building, like a toilet, a restroom. Okay, so this is building number 1, and guys, I don't know, it isn't complete. I still miss some signpost here and there. Okay, I still miss some signpost. Maybe one here, guys, a couple more, and the clock, maybe, and the clock. They are modeled, not yet 3D printed, but I wanted to give them much consideration to that building, because it will be the passport for that section, with the airborne attracting even from the distance, guys. Already from the distance, from here, already when the camera will approach here, it will get the attraction airborne there. And yes, I know it is a military term, as I already explained to you, but let me use it, because it will happen something over the roof of the building 01. And no, guys, it will not be related to 2023. It will not be related to hot air balloons. Something different this time, something different. But maybe you have guessed, if I use airborne with an E at the end, airborne in the airborne. Okay, but I like the term of paratroopers. Okay, oh yes, then let me re-switch on everything. I was saying I also made some more segments of the sidewalk here, shaping it, getting everything inside, but it is still not there. Maybe I will go a little further, etc. I still need to have some something to fill in under the building there, and then I will continue there. It all depends on how I will get this done. The rest of the I still miss another half, maybe half, 3/4 of the ring section before getting there. I hope not to go, but you can see that I will come very close to those buildings here. Maybe I will have to slide something more, I don't know. I will, that will be the main crucial problem for next week, and I obviously need to retouch some paintings there where I have glued together and all the story, all the levels, but it is a final touch. Nothing is already fixed. I'm still using some skewers, etc. It's still not fixed. Anything, it is fixed right now. Let me blink once again. Airborne, 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 airborne. Okay, guys. What else, guys? Yes, I started 3D modeling some more of my figurines. Obviously, I still have a lot more 3D printed during this week, or much more elements, but give me time, guys. You have seen that how long it takes to assemble something. To assemble something. Okay? Okay, guys, see you for the outro. No, sorry, here, guys. Yes, I forgot to tell you. Sorry, let me go this way. Deer, that's what it was in my mind, and I already told you maybe during the intro, I don't remember, it was 3 or 4 days ago. Here I will have one of my stairs. Last season I was missing one of my big stairs, one of my big crazy handmade or modeled things. It will be something strange having different levels, but here, guys, I will place it. Here I will have some other walls closing here with a little curve, because I still wanted to get something in that pipe there. I cannot finish there, but I will have a little wall here ending something like that. Still not a 3D modeled, etc. Simply because I wanted to get some other thing initially there, but instead I will go there with stairs here, maybe something more strange, trying to get elevation from here and there, and I will use standard or Lemax buildings here. I will start using Lemax building here and back there and behind there. Okay, yes, it's still in my mind, but just one thing, a twin stair there, not like the twin stair I used in 2022, okay, that it was here a stair, then getting a twin stair, different, this side with something in the middle. Maybe I will not tell you, let me go normal magnification. It's really all for this final recap. See you for the outro. Quoi? Mais ça va pas, non? Nommer la rue principale avec votre nom. Rue Geneviève, rue Madame Geneviève. Mais pourquoi? Pour quelle raison? She's completely out of her mind. She wanted the main street named after her. Main Street to become Street Geneviève. Genevieve Avenue, Miss Genevieve Avenue. Why? Why? That, yes, yes, yes. Be quiet, please. Be quiet. This product here is fantastic. Very high level of result thinning it because it is very dense. I will never thank enough my old friend for addressing me to this brand here, to this company, US company. I'm not always using European materials or European components, even US components, but only two sellers in Europe having this? Why? Why? No, not even on the main marketplaces. Marketplaces don't have it. Why? One in Spain and one in Netherlands. They are the opposite side where I am. I'm plain middle of Europe. Italy is plain middle. Spain is it's not Portugal at the far west, and the Netherlands is almost up there near the North Pole. Come on, guys, come on. Why I'm telling this? Because I will spend so much in transport, because this is very lightweighted, so I spend more on transport than on the product itself. 15 euros 15 USD to get this, no matter if from Spain or from Netherlands, but I have it. I have used 2 bottles. I cannot paint anymore because I just have here a little amount, but I have already ordered more bottles. I hope to receive them to paint some more elements for next part 8, 2 months, a little more than 2 months, because I had a blank week, you know. Those buildings, not completely done. I still miss some of them because I have some holes to fill up. Not convincing about building 01 and this one, so maybe I will change my mind, and it is a big advance. I gave you a preview. Maybe I will have a preview of what I have in mind for my 2025 twin stairs for next part 8. And the building 01, master building, not your building, pas votre, pas le vôtre. There, with the airborne, that new technique, up to you to judge, up to you to comment. Did I do something wrong, something not correct? Maybe it is a little too advanced technologically for Victorian era. Maybe, but maybe it is 1940, 1941. So illuminated signposts were already there after the first 10 years of 19th century. Up to you to judge. And it is visible even from this distance, and switch it on or switch it off, it is visible from the distance. New techniques. So a little amount of work done finally correctly this week. My biggest problem will be solve the second ring up there. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment and give big thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing my absolutely awful English awful. And see you for part 8 in just a week, but only if you really wish. Bye guys, au revoir à tout le monde.